This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. It reads, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were salter than oil, yet were they drawn swords. First off, I want to start off and give all honors and infinite praises to YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillstone, who taught us his truth and who ruled well. Peace and safety and salutations out there to you sincere and you hope for your elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of this earth. Alright, I'm your fellow servant, YAHAWAH, coming in with another lesson today. Alright, this lesson is going to be going into war was in his heart. Okay, so I want to play a small clip here. I was looking at this earlier. This is from the White House, I guess their government page on YouTube, but it says President Trump hosts a cabinet meeting October 9th, 2025. So I just want to play a small little skip snippet, all right, of what this woman was saying. And this is the time that we're living in, okay, to where, okay, these devils, okay, speaking, having meetings, okay, trying to so-called basically end crime, all right, bring in military troops, all right, delegating, making a lot of basically covenants and things within these different meetings, okay, and they're swearing, okay, that they're gonna bring in more enforcements, okay, into these cities of where they're trying to take control over the crime. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this quick video, man, because hey, man, war is in these people's hearts, man. All right, it's in Esau, Edom's heart. Okay, and if you got Jake somewhere within here, I think maybe 2 or 3 Jakes in here, but the rest of them are Edomites and some heathens inside this diplomatic cabinet meeting that they have. Okay, so they lost. They don't know what the hell is going on. But these Edomites that's on this panel up here, war, okay, is in their heart, man. Okay, even the damn she-devil, and she's gonna speak on it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into it. I believe it's around this mark, somewhere between here. But we're gonna play it up, probably about a good 2 minutes of it, and they're gonna send in more reinforcements, man. You know, Jake out here still thinking that, you know, Jacob's trouble is not here. No, this thing is increasing. And I got another video I want to show too, as well, as where we can see the military presence is hey man, it's here. Okay, there's no doubting, okay, that we are in Jacob's trouble, man. We are here, and it's only going to intensify. It's only going to increase. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that. Let's go ahead and start. Turn it up a little bit.
Making sure that we have more security measures, snipers on the roof, people to protect our law enforcement while they're out there on the streets. But what I'm also doing, sir, is
let me go back a little bit.
And
I want to join. They're proud of our country again. Christy, go ahead, please.
There we go.
Sir, thank you for your leadership and for deploying all of government to help us keep our country safe. You have talked extensively about how threatened our ICE officers are, but all of our law enforcement out there. And we saw the shooting in Dallas at that facility, so we're hardening all of our buildings and making sure that we have more security measures, snipers on the roof, people to protect our law enforcement while they're out there on the streets. But what I'm also doing, sir, is and with your authority,
Salakia, man, that is Satan, man. This video is playing perfectly. Let me go back a little bit. She keeps skipping. It's a lot. Let me see. I don't have anything else that's blocking this way. Let me take this off. That's probably what it is. Okay, we're done with Psalms 55. All right. So let's see if that's the problem. All right, so let's go ahead and start again. Salakia.
safe. You have talked extensively about how threatened our ICE officers are, but all of our law enforcement out there. And we saw the shooting in Dallas at that facility, so we're hardening all of our buildings and making sure that we have more security measures, snipers on the roof, people to protect our law enforcement while they're out there on the streets. But what I'm also doing, sir, is, and with your authority, is we're purchasing more buildings in Chicago to operate out of. We're going to not back off. In fact, we're doubling down, and we're going to be in more parts.
Yeah. So like she say, all right, they are doubling down. Okay, because they're seeing what's happening out there off these different videos of seeing these protesters. All right, they are interfering with these ICE agents. Okay, and then she's gonna say some more too about the police. Okay, that not really trying to help the ICE agents. So they're saying they're getting ready to employ even more federal troops on the ground to protect the federal agents. So it's not going to be any need to the point for the police, man. They're going to send more federal agents, and it's just all an excuse, to bring in these troops, man, because we're entering, into some serious times, man. Come on, man.
Of Chicago in response to the people there. And then I was there a few days ago and looked at some facilities that we can deploy more law enforcement out of, because what they're trying to do with these riots and violence is distract us.
That shit is crazy.
To keep us from going after those murderers and rapists that are out on the streets. And then I was in Portland, went out and back on Tuesday and met with the governor, met with the mayor, met with the chief of police and the superintendent of the highway patrol. They are all lying and disingenuous and dishonest people, because as soon as you leave the room, then they make the exact opposite response. So we're looking at new facilities to purchase there in Portland too, and we're going to double down. And I told them if they didn't meet our demands for safety and security on the streets and work with us, then we were going to bring in more federal law enforcement. So I want to thank Pete and the Department of War for all their help. They've been fantastic. But while we fight litigation and work with Pam on that, we're going to send more of our resources and men and women out there to keep everybody safe. So no.
See? And that's what they want.
No worries. What we see in DC and what we see in Memphis. There
we go. Salah. Okay. They're doubling down, on these cities, because they're seeing the different things that are happening, with, the people of the city, even the mayors of those cities, so they're getting pushback. So now they're going to send in more troops. They're going to purchase more buildings. They're going to put more snipers, on rooftops. So showing that what they're waging war, with the citizens. So I got a video right here. Just a small clip. This is from NBCChicago.com. It says National Guard arrives at the U.S. Army Reserve Base. Because they're moving them around, and this is in Elwood, Illinois. So it says National Guard arrives at U.S. Army Reserve Base in suburban Chicago. Because they're deploying. Many more around these troops, man, to come into these cities. Especially Chicago, especially I think it was Oregon, Memphis, and how many more the other different major cities. And you got other mayors calling in, for Trump to bring in the National Guard into those cities. All right, so things are increasing as the days go by.
look at a U.S. Army Reserve base in suburban Chicago where National Guard troops from Texas arrived today. Chapter 5 is giving you a look at this military base from the air. You can see it is fairly rural out here. There's not a lot of people, though I did speak with a neighbor who stopped out of curiosity because she said she's not used to seeing this much activity. She said that typically there are soldiers here training maybe once a month and people will hear that activity, but it never looks like this. To give you some context, this parking lot is usually empty or parked with civilian vehicles, so today we are seeing several semi-trucks and what appears to be temporary barracks being built.
So they're bringing them in. Here's a look at... All right, they're bringing them in. Okay, this is the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and as we're seeing all this happening, this is gonna spark civil war. All right, between the people. Okay, between the nations. So I got right here, that's the book of Luke chapter 21 verse 9. Okay, because as this devil's declaring wars, all right, this is a part of what the scriptures is talking about, man. Okay, it's not only just going to be World War III that's going to be happening, it's going to be other different types of wars, man. Okay, so let me bring this scripture out, and then there's something else I want to bring out. But let's get this here in the book of Luke chapter 21 verse 9. It says, but when ye shall hear of wars, okay, plural, not singular, hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, so showing that what, man? There's going to be uprisings. There's going to be commotions. There's going to be wars. Okay? And these things have been happening. Okay? So we're at the time of the end. Okay? We're at the time of the end. There's no more talking. Now things is being, application is being applied. The application is being applied, man. Alright, so I got right here. Let me click over here. I typed in the different types of wars, and I'm not gonna go too many into it. All right, even though we know that ultimately we're waiting on World War III, but within those wars you have different types of wars. Okay, we got civil war. Okay, I'm just gonna read this little heading. It says civil war is characterized by a confrontation between two or more sides of the same state or country, and that's what we're seeing that's happening right now. Okay, we're seeing the start of it happening with the government, federal, okay, and state. Okay, you got the mayors going up against the president and his orders. Okay, so it's bringing contention, all right, between the two sides, all right, within the country, and then it's going to trickle down onto the people, man. Okay, the scriptures talk about that in 2nd Ezra, all right, and Isaiah 19, all right, the Egyptian against the Egyptian. Okay, so we're getting ready to start seeing, all right, the people to start to rise up as these military troops are coming in, man. All right, because they also have another reason why they're coming in too, man, because they know that the Americans are about to start losing it. All right, they know that these people are about to lose it because these people don't have jobs. These people don't have money. These people cannot afford certain things. These people are losing everything. So it's going to get to a point to where these people are just going to lose it. And you already got, all right, the military in these strategic areas. Okay, it's gonna get to a point to where they're gonna keep them there. All right, they're talking about insurrection, the Insurrection Act being implemented. Okay, so things is gearing up, man. So that's just one. You got World War. That's what we're living within the midst of that happening right now. Holy wars. You got invasion wars. We got, come on, man. Countries have been getting invaded, man. Starting off with Russia and Ukraine. Okay, you got other different, even before Russia and Ukraine, this has been happening. Okay, but in the stage and the set of where we at, okay, that's one of the main focuses. And then you have right now talks of with China and Taiwan. Okay. And we know eventually China may invade Taiwan. Okay. It says, Invasion warfare is developed by the forcible entry of the army of one country into another territory in order to conquer them. Okay? We're seeing it. It's happening in real time. Nuclear war. Come on, man. Trade war. Tariffs. The trade war involves the imposition of barriers to free trade. There's nothing but tariffs, sanctions going on. You see? Changing up different systems of where they do trade. That's happening right now. Biological warfare. Come on, man. We're living in that right now. Especially in the time of 2020. How much more? Guerrilla warfare. It says based on using a poor military strategy. That's what it says here. But needless to say, those are just small different types of wars. You got proxy wars. Alright. And it's going to bring the people, alright, to commotions. Okay, so when I typed that in, I went into ChatGPT. I just typed in commotions. So it says the word commotions, it says means disturbances, disorder, or noisy confusion. Situations where peace or stability is disrupted. And that's where we at right now. Alright, they're talking about bringing in troops. Alright, the people losing jobs, people just losing things, losing life, losing out, bugged out. Alright, so it's messing with the people's peace. Alright, and their stability. It says, but if you're asking for a spiritual sense, okay, it says, spiritually, commotions represent inner or outer turmoil that shakes a person's peace or faith. And that's what's happening. These people are getting shook up. Okay? Internally. Okay? And within their mind. They can't sleep. Soon we're going to start seeing people commit deletions. You know? They're gonna take their own life, man, by the way of the Tuli. Alright? You know, the La Pistola. You see? So this is what we seeing, man. Okay, and it's only gonna increase. People gonna be jumping off different skyscrapers, alright, because they lost it all. It's just gonna lead to all anarchy, all chaos. It says spiritual unrest. When your spirit is troubled or settled by fear, doubt, or worldly distractions. And this is what we're gonna be seeing, man. Okay, let me see if it's in this one. Damn, let me see. Here it is. This is the book of Luke 21, jumping down to verse 26. No, verse 25. Point is verse 26. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Okay, commotions. This is where we are at in time. All right, the people. It says, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay, so the people who living within their nice estates, all right, they're gonna be losing it. All right, people, their hearts is gonna be failing them for the different things that they're gonna be seeing and witnessing. All right, it's gonna be a lot of deletions happening within the streets, a lot of deleted bodies on the side of the streets. Okay, all turmoil, famines, earthquakes. Okay, people having strange apparitions, people bugging out. And in the midst of that, you're going to be having wars happening. Betrayal, persecution is going to be happening. All right, because they're bringing in these troops, man. They're setting the stage up. All right, and it's ultimately to come after you, you Jakes, man. Okay, let me get this here. This is the book of Luke 11 and 17. This is in a NLT. It says, he knew their thoughts, so he said, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A family splintered by feuding will fall apart. Okay, so all these people here in America, Babylon the Great, okay, they are doomed. Okay, because when this civil war hits, that's it. You're reading the prophetic scriptures in the book of 2nd Ezra 15, 16. Okay, Isaiah, you know, Jeremiah, you know, the prophets, they seen, you know, they seen the times of war, chaos, anarchy. Okay, and it's the time that we in, man. Jeremiah chapter 30. You got Ezekiel. Come on, man. It's the times that we're living in. So let me get this piece where I was looking at, and it says shocking video shows ICE takes a hit at Chicago pastor in head with pepper ball. Okay, and that's just with the pepper ball. Okay, soon they're going to be nothing but just bullets. So let me take this one off. Let me take this one off. Let's go back to the commotions. Is that it? Pretty much. Well, spiritual I'm going to go back to it. Spiritual unrest. When your spirit is troubled or unsettled by fear, doubt, worldly distractions, testing, or shaking. Yes, it's moments when Yahawah allows disturbances to reveal what's truly stable or rooted in you. So a lot of people are going to be getting rooted out, man, because they never was rooted within YAHAWASHI. It says Luke 21:9, where YAHAWASHI says, "Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass." It says transition or awakening. Sometimes spiritual commotion precedes revelation or divine change, and that's what we're seeing. People going to be awakened, all right, by the different things that's going to be happening, man, because they're going to know that it is all from the Lord, because the Lord spoke about these things. It says physical commotion shakes the world. Spiritual commotion shakes the heart. Okay? To remove what's false and awaken what's divine. Okay? And the people are going to be having these two, physical and spiritual commotions within their minds, man, because of the things that's going to be happening, man. And this is just the start of it. Them bringing in the troops, them already starting to, take a hit. Yeah, take a hit. All right, at these civilians, these citizens. So how much more when it comes down to you, Jakes, man? All right, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, man. All right, remember the scripture we opened up with. War was in his heart. It's going to increase. So let's go ahead and play this right quick. Turn the sound up.
It's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control.
What we've been seeing in Chicago already from ICE and other federal agents, it sure does look like an extension of that project. It feels like an attempted federal occupation. With images like this shared by a reporter with the Chicago Tribune of a federal agent pointing a weapon out of a car window at a woman who was filming. Last Friday, we saw folks in a residential neighborhood, middle of the day, bright sunshine, get tear gassed. The chemical agent was used just a block away from an elementary school during a school day. Across social media, there is video after video of people being detained, often violently by federal agents, while onlookers yell at them. Like this video on your screen of Border Patrol trying to forcibly restrain a man while onlookers attempt to intervene. In one instance, a Democratic congressional candidate was violently thrown to the ground by ICE. You see that there? For exercising her constitutional right to protest the agency's presence in her city. Just last month, a pastor was shot in the head with what appears to be a kind of pepper ball projectile while speaking outside an ICE detention facility in the Chicago suburb of Broadview. I want to warn you, some viewers may find the video of that incident upsetting.
that's just the part I want to see. Yeah, I don't know why the video, it is what it is, but I was just watching it, nothing, shit. It wasn't slowing down, but it is what it is. I want to play more, but we can basically stop it right there. That's just the point that I want you to see. All right, you have the snipers on top of the roof. You got the people at the bottom. Even this was a so-called pastor, you know, and he was out. I guess he was preaching or whatever. But one of the one of the pepper balls ended up hitting him in the head. Okay, so they're already getting the federal troops ready to come after you people, man. They already got some of these troops that's already on board of putting you citizens down, man. Okay, so this is what's gonna bring in that civil war. The ones who's gonna be with the ones gonna be with the Department of War with Trump, that side, MAGA, and then you're gonna have the other ones that's gonna be, you know, from the outside, you know, trying to go up against the government. This is what's coming. You can see it. It's playing out. It's clear. It's clear as day. You should be able to see what is forming up, man. Okay, and they're doing it strategically of what's going down. So they're getting ready to come harder down on Memphis, Chicago. What's the other place? I believe it's Oregon. Okay, and it's gonna be other different major cities, man, because they already brought, I believe it's 400 National Guard troops to from Texas down there. So things is, hey man, it's increasing, and it's gonna get to a point to where it's getting ready to be geared towards you Jakes, man. Y'all truly about to find out, man. All right, of what we were talking about and speaking about concerning Jacob's trouble, man. We're living within it, man, and it's only going to increase, and you're going to get caught up in the midst of it because you don't have any covering from the Lord. All right, this is the time for you to return back to YAHAWASHI, and if not, you're going to get caught up out here, man, when all this starts to hit, man, because we're getting closer and closer each day. All right, so hey, Lord willing, you find this lesson edifying. I did to you, Akim, YAHAWAH. I want to give all honors and infinite praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught us his truth and who rule well. Peace and safety and salutations out there to you sincere and you hopefully elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of this earth. All right, I'm your fellow servant, Malakia. Shalom.